as an action figure, they're running into certain conditions that many people run into, concerning alcoholism and how other minds react to alcoholism. Yeah. And she's adept in non-duality. She's heard it many times. So it's a typical thing. She called me up, and because in recovery and that this program, which is for action figures, this is not absoluteness. It's while in the dream. Yeah. Yeah. This dreaming goes on. And this is a solution to some of the aspects that dreaming takes, the mental mutations. Yes. And it brings a relief to the action figure. And let's not keep that from the action figure. Yeah. Let it have relief. Yeah, it breeds gratitude and other stuff. It's quite nice. You can watch people's faces change when they're not held by what they used to be held by. It's really quite nice. So it's a very innocent thing. She says, well, I went into this group, and again, the point is to surrender, you know, uh, your will and life to something else, because obviously what's ever driving it now isn't working. Yeah. So there's an option that you could be driven. The fact is, the action figure is driven. There is no self-driving action figure. Every action figure is driven. And in this way of recovery's view, which is a dualistic view, which is there's either you're driven by the finite self, would be the mental activities really fueled with faith, or you're going to be driven by the infinite, or let's say spirit or whatever. So it's a very dualistic thing, as this place is. Yeah. So sometimes the answer in this place are dualistic. Yeah. First, you see how the old employer treated you, and now that opens you up to maybe it would be a great idea to let a new employer take over. Yeah. And that point is where the surrender is, in a sense. So in AA, there's a program that assists you, and people think they're surrendering themselves. No, they're surrendering the will and life over to the care of something else. So what is used to drive us, yeah, and where we're driven, which is the life and the will, is turned over to something else, like the higher power. Yeah, and there's a surrender, and in that transition or transformation, you'll see people's faces change completely, the physical structure, because what's moving them has changed. Yes. Yeah. So I said, yeah, just forget about the absolute. Yeah, there is no person, because in this case, this is about the no person. Yeah, and so it would be very wise for the no person to surrender. Yeah. It's not going to be wise to try to say there is no person as the no person.
Right.
It doesn't work. Yes. So you are not getting non-duality. It's coming through the back door. Yeah. You're getting it because of the way the head has been, basically. Yeah. You had so much information that you were looking at with no real understanding. You start having a real understanding. And by seeing that, what you're not, it hits what you are. Yeah. It hits a bell before the bells, so to speak. That's how it works. That's what negation is. There's something, the affirmation is never found through affirmation. It's rediscovered because it hasn't gone anywhere through negation. Yeah. So if something is being held in higher regard than that which all there is, then that thing that's being held in higher regard gets negated. You don't go to battle with it or vanquish it or kill it. That's more of it. You lose interest in it. So you lose interest because that's what's putting it in a higher position, is interest and attention. Yeah. And when you try to get it into a lower position with interest and attention, that's feeding the higher position of interest and attention. You get it? You can't get out of it as it. You can't get out of it. So I said, just surrender, just surrender. And whatever that means is let's pick, make us, you could do it with a candle. You could do it, anywhere, but whatever works. Just basically say, hey, I'm, I would love to turn this will and this life over to the care of something else because I'm living under a strong suspicion something else is driving it already. Yes. And I can't seem to get it out of the driver's seat. So let's hope if I bring a bigger, better driver in, it'll kick the old driver out. Yeah. And you'll know the tree by its fruits. Yeah. You will. Like Jesus says, you're going to be able to tell a good tree and a bad tree from the fruit. A good tree cannot bring forth bad fruit, and a bad tree cannot bring forth good fruit. So you'll know the tree by the fruit. So you'll know what's moving you by the experience of it. Yeah. By the effects. So if you're in a condition of irritability, restlessness, and discontent, you're under a certain power. Yeah. The other power, under the having tons of experiences with it, brings about an ease and comfort. It uses the faith that you represent to produce ease and comfort, not more mental anxiety and calamity. Yeah. So it's they're the only similarity of them is the fuel they use, which is faith. Yes. And the movement of directing. Everything else is very different. One has a panoramic view, the other has a myopic view. Yes? And these are programmed in. The myopic view is not going to grow into a panoramic view. It may think it grows into a panoramic view as seen from a myopic view. Yes? So in the myopic view, it has ideas of panoramic views. Yes, but they're not actually because your big head is in there. Yeah. So crying out and talking about, hey, you're blocking the movie. It's you. You're the blocking of the movie. So this has been a sticking point because for all the years that we've been showing up, this confusion of like, this is why I always say this statement from the Course in Miracle. I don't even know if it was in there. Maybe I just came up and put it in there in my head because I don't know the page, but it said it, I believe it said this. And this captures the idea of surrendering as the action figure, and then in the absoluteness, no, you're not that. Yes. But trying to know you're not that as the action figure is pointless. It's not going to work. Yeah. So here it says, you and I are the dreaming of the dream. Once again, the Course in Miracles. It's describing what's happening here. You and I are the dreaming of the dream. We're giving meaning to things that are inherently empty. Yeah. If something was full of itself, it would impose its meaning on you, but everything is empty and we give it all the meaning it has. Yeah. So here it goes. It says, you and I are the dreaming of the dream. I don't like the word dream. I would say it's dreaming the dreaming. Yeah, it's just verbing. But let's say how it says it. You and I are the dreaming of the dream. Okay. And what we're going to do is we're going to dream ourselves out of it. Yeah. So we're not going to negate the dream. We're not going to try to transcend it. It's going to be used to dream ourselves out of it. Yes. So that which is not true is going to be used to get to us to where the truth is. Yes. Where it already is. But you know what I mean? Understanding can have distance and distance and time in it. So you get an understanding while you're dreaming yourself out of the dream. There is no one that's dreaming yourself out of a dream. But this goes hand in hand to me. And one of the great aspects of dreaming yourself out of the dream is recovery programs. Seriously. Yeah. Because we've been living a nightmare, many of us, a lot of us, a nightmare. And then dreams weren't getting better. And and the effect we had on others that we wished not to, a nasty effect, was just turning into a family illness and everything else. It was just spreading and spreading. So now we're going to get sober, which would be the dreaming I was fucked,
Mm.
drug addict, and now the duality of that would be sober. So we're going to go the other way. We're not. We're going to be moved that other way, yeah, by recognizing stuff. And
Yeah.
one of the biggest things you recognize that actually slides right into non-duality is that you're not that which has defeated you. You
Mm.
see that constant ticker tape of what you call Paul going off, and that is read to you. You're not even reading it, you're hearing it. It reads itself back to you all day. Yeah. You see that you're not that, and then there's a loss of interest in it.
Yeah.
And it tells you when you tried to lose interest in it, that was interest in it. Yeah. So you
Mm.
you finally get over that conundrum. It's the big bump, really. When you after you hear non-duality, you hit a big bump because now the thing that you're not hears the message and tries to get the message or think it's
Mm.
the one that's going to be that which is taking itself to the body is now going to take itself not to be the body. No, that doesn't work that way. Yeah.
Yeah.
All of you is in the dream.
Yeah.
All of what you are is of something else.
Yeah.
Yeah. You and I are sort of like a hose. Yeah.
Mm.
We don't know what's there, but something can come through the hose and show itself or express in many ways here. And when you get the inside, let's say, joke and recognition, it has a very incredible effect to the action figure. You see those things on YouTube now. The guy is playing a piano and the elephants are all standing there listening intently.
Mm.
And then the donkeys, the guy goes every night, plays the guitar or something, and the donkeys. Yeah, we're just, we're as an action figure, we're like an elephant and a donkey. Yeah, so now suddenly we're hearing something that's bringing a calm and a ease to us. Like
Yeah.
when something that hasn't been petted that gets petted, yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. This is all action figure, but what else do you want to do than get relief here? Most people really just, I mean, that's we have things that have to come out of a body. A lot of the whole day is about getting relief. You know what it's like when you can't find a bathroom? Remember the pandemic? Nobody was letting you in. It was insane. You had to have a he-wee and a she-wee in there because no, you couldn't go. You had a plan ahead. No, no one, there was no open bathrooms. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was insane. So the seeking for relief as the action figure is its common basic condition. Yeah, it's looking for relief from this, gas,
Yeah.
farting, burping, constantly. So here's some relief. Yeah. Now the funny thing is, it's always been presented by the head that you're the doer, the thinker, the feeler, the taster, but the relief isn't going to come from doing and thinking, definitely
Yeah.
not thinking, and feeling and tasting.
Mm.
You're going to observe and feel the expression of it through those things, but those things are not going to bring it about.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the idea of nothing is in, uh, these things are not clashing. The idea that there's an act of dreaming oneself out of the dream, and as we do, the dream is going to get better. Yeah. It doesn't say it's going to be the dream goes on for infinite, it ends. Yeah. And there you all are. That which end really never began.
Mm.
You you believe because we haven't got to the end of it, we think it's actually began and it's going on. But when it ends, it will be like nothing ever began. Just like when you go deep sleep. Yeah. the agitation of Paul is finally completely uh, unknown, and you're just in lovely la la land,
Yeah. Yeah.
like Ramana would say. That's the closest thing to it is the deep sleep. What a great gift
Yeah.
to be able to fall in there because the head can't get unagitated. It's dreaming, it's doing this. People are talking. One night I was with Amelia and uh, it was really silent. And then suddenly a bassy voice came and spoke Latin. I thought she was possessed by the demon. It was really wild. I said, what was that? He said, you heretic. It's really trippy. So there's a lot going on, even when the body ain't moving. Yeah. And then finally, the great reprieve is absolute nothingness. And that's
Yes.
true.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So while we're here, sometimes you gotta do more, you gotta do as the Romans do, and maybe you'll have to do a little more doing as the Romans do, because it may not work by just saying you're not an alcoholic. You may still have all the experiences and all the shit that an alcoholic has. Yeah, you're pronouncing you're not an alcoholic may not make that so. Of course, you're not an alcoholic, but there's alcoholism going on. Yes. So I have found many people attempt to use non-duality as sort of an escape from the steps, and they end up drunk, non-dualists. Yeah,
Yeah.
because what you're not is 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 a larger circle than you may imagine. Yeah. A large part of what you think you are as the truth and absolute is not that.
Yes.
It's 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 not like you're just 10 yards away from the infinite gazing. No, all the space and time is of the dreamer or the dreamt. Yeah, yeah. That's what gets revealed more and more of what you're not, and how in its idea of space it fills it up. Yeah. That's why the idea of in and of are completely different. So Jesus says you're in this world, but you're not of this world. So you seem to be in the experiential level in this place, but luckily you're not of this place.
Yes.
Now, that which is in this place believes it's of this place.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's going to be very difficult. It doesn't matter how many fucking experiences you try to get to convince it that it's of, it can only imagine the of from its in. And so I feel it's completely futile in a great way. You're never really going to get it. Not
Yeah.
even the other, because yeah, there isn't a real you waiting for as soon as you realize the non-you, the real you, which there's no you.
Yeah.
This is only in a dream. Yeah. This is as if when you wake up, uh, it's not that you see the tiger differently. The tiger doesn't exist anymore. So in this dream, we're like the tiger that scares us, and we think another part of the tiger is removed from it, which it isn't. Yeah. So the you that sees the non-you is of the non-you. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we can't expand the lens far enough to see what we're not
Yeah.
here, this. But there's an intimation in it, and there's a knowing that can uh, do the trick, so to speak. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. So I feel uh, you're never going to have the recognition of what you are. You're going to always see what you're not. Yeah.
Yes.
And in that seeing of what you're not is the sense of what you are. which has absolutely nothing to do with what you're not. It doesn't look like another what you're not. It doesn't think. It doesn't have, memories and it, yes, doesn't have one foot longer than the other. No, it doesn't. No, it's complete. This is just every inch of the dreamt character is of the dreamt. Yeah, I feel. I don't, it's this is where I keep landing on lately on this porch. Yeah. Yeah. So, because there's always the head, because you see the movement, right? When you finally recognize self, it moves to be the one who's recognizing self. Yeah, it has that quick move. So it's all in its you. And then there's an awareness of you from some other point of view, it immediately leaves there and becomes the one who's now aware of the you.
Right.
Yeah. I don't believe there's a point where that stops. Yeah. So everything we can know here is of that. The knowing that's available to us is not, but everything we can know is of that, of the
Yeah.
action figure, I feel humbly right now. So, but the knowing that has a role here is, I truly believe, is of the of. Yeah.
Mm.
I can't know it, but I sense it.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's nice when, see, I believe it's like frequency and its reverberation can align with the understanding of non-duality. I really do. I can think you can, a note can chime out like almost with an infinite reverberation. If the action figure with the understanding of non-duality gets aligned with, what, I am that I am.
Mm.
Yeah. I feel there's when the water comes through that hose, it can go a lot farther.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it can. And so, yeah. So I humbly feel the understanding of non-duality just aligns the action figure in a way to be. There was a great movie I really liked. It's hard to find now, but I think it was a Argentinian movie, and it was man facing southeast, I think. And it was a trip because this alien comes to the planet, and what best place to hide its alienness was in an asylum. So it goes into the asylum and it tells the truth all every day that it's not from here, and they're all, oh, this guy's crazy, and yet they start seeing that the guy, if he sees someone cold, he gives them this jacket, and then all the inmates are following him, and they're just getting off on his vibe. Yes,
Right.
but because of he's in this hostile environment, let's say in the action figure world, he has to go out in the grounds and walk around till he finds a point of the frequency, like when you're looking for
Oh
the old
yeah.
days with your phone trying to
Yeah.
get. He walks around and he just stands there and he gets beamed into to have enough fucking stamina to live another day in the action world with all these insane people. And so it's beautiful, and it goes on and on. And then, they're giving him pills and he's not taking them. Yes. And then finally, uh, to the authorities, because he's got this one doctor, like the doctor is more sick and more insane than he is, unbelievably. And he's got this doctor sort of realizing all that without saying a shit, just by example. And then the authorities of the hospital say, you got to shoot this guy up. So they start shooting him up
Oh,
with the drugs, and then he can't find the uh,
the
the
connection.
access. Yeah, he walks around, he can't do it, and now he's getting fucking. He's losing tolerance with the other inmates, and he's getting selfish and self-centered, and the whole thing's happening. Yeah. So in a way, the non-duality understanding aligns you with that note of all notes, so to speak,
Yes.
that can play into the in from the of.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so it can reverberate and hear. And the non-duality understanding is like an antenna that picks that up. So there's an alignment.
Mm.
So the understanding actually works here. Yeah. It doesn't sound tinny when you go, this or that, 'cause something has really occurred. Yeah.
Yeah.
You've lost interest sufficiently of that centeredness of self. And these things that you're sharing are actually happening. Yeah,
Yes.
you're observing it and stuff. You're not doing it, you're observing it.
Observing.
Yeah, and it's almost as if what you was needed because that vibration was vibrating was just an understanding so that you could see through the conceptual curtain of the head
Yes.
to see to have that knowingness trigger because it reverberates. You don't
Mm.
have to keep. It's not like a gong that has to be played. It vibrates for quite a while,
Yes.
and I feel the non-duality keeps you aligned with that. Let's say algorithm or something. Yeah. The real non-duality understanding, which I believe is negation,
Yes.
negation of what you're not by seeing it as not you.
Yes.
Because your seeing is of the of. Awareness is consciousness is the in.
Uh-huh.
You become conscious of shit in the in, but awareness is of the of.
Yes.
Much larger thing. So that awareness is coming in, and it's almost like a different Morse code, when knowledge or information is being thrown in you, it's different. It's not like, dot, 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 yeah, you learn another language almost like a beat, like a vibrational beat. Yeah. And then you're sort of like on the beam. And when you start this gets, and because when the action figure looks down, it falls off the trapeze, that when they're doing that thing, as soon as it looks down or it has the idea, I'm doing it, it falls. Yeah. But you got to see that's not you.
Yes.
Yeah. So every time that which is, suddenly the mental state projects it as an appearance here, that appearance here isn't you.
Mm.
Yeah. And so whatever falls off the beam isn't you falling off the beam. And it's not you getting back on the beam. You can't believe this shit because it's just going to keep you, you're going to be, if it was an in out, you'll be in the out a whole lot more than the in. Yeah. You can't listen to it. You can listen to it, but just realize it's not you because it's telling you you fell off and you got on. And yeah. Now I now have to let go because I'm the one holding on. No, you're not the one holding on. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. You stop holding on to that. The
Yeah.
idea that you're the one who lets go and one who holds on. You lose interest in that holding on.
Yes.
Yeah. So, oh, I fell once again, but no, in a nanosecond you're on the trapeze. Nothing happened. So yeah. So, render unto, like I met people who they wanted to take a shortcut with non-duality through recovery. They didn't want to, so they would call me. I hate saying I'm an alcoholic. It's sort of I'm reinforcing self. So then, and it's the head's building that up as a way to leave recovery. And
Yeah.
I said, well, just say I'm a grateful member of AA. What? Oh yeah, that works.
Mm.
You're not saying you're anything. You're saying a grateful member of recovery. So, oh shit, I want an exit card. Yeah,
Mm.
I want to get out of here. But it's not going to change the destiny of the action figure. If alcoholism is going to run supreme in it, it will. Yeah. And like we used to say early on, if your house is on fire and it's getting really close to you, someone who comes by and says there is no house and there's no fire, that's not helpful.
No.
You need water. You need the fire to be put out. Yeah. Don't mistake the absolute as something that's relative.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, all right. That's good. Got it off my chest.
Great.
I'm still working on it because I run into it so much. Because I'm in like two little worlds. I'm in recovery and then I'm in this, whatever. And they don't seem, but it's all, one can grow into the other beautifully.
Yes.
Yes, beautifully. It's seamless, really. Yeah. And to me, non-duality is not a path, it's a light that illuminates every path. There are a lot of paths here. Non-duality is not one of them.
No.
But non-duality is light, and that light will illuminate whatever path you're on. Yeah. That's the key. This is not like competing paths. It isn't.
No.
Yeah. This is it has a whole different sense. There's no rushing or moving in non-duality. You're not getting anywhere. There's not black belts and red belts and blue belts. There's not hierarchies.
No.
There's not like 98% radical pure awareness. There's nothing like that, I don't feel. It's
No.
just dog shit awakeness, which is inherently our condition. Now you can believe, the head can believe it's not awake. It can see that it's not awake. It can believe that, but it doesn't change the fact
Right.
that we're awakeness. And then you can also believe that you're awake. Yeah, and it doesn't change the fact, but it may change how you travel through the dreaming.
Mm.
Yes. Yes. So, yeah. All right. We'll end it to right now, eh? It's, I think it's a good one, unless someone has something to say. Kathleen, fantastic. Yeah. Gregory. Wow, look at this. Gregory's iPad, Greg Goldbranson. Wow, that's one of the longest ones I've seen. Yeah. David, down under. I knew, as always. Nice to see you, honey. Yes. Stephen Mack, on having never left. The action figure leaves, comes back, leaves, comes back. But the fact is, on having never left. John K., our historian. Yes. Kerry, our man in Hawaii, he has not been engulfed by the volcanic ash, so that's good. We got first things first. Yes, yes, good thing to follow. Eric, SoCal, nice to see you, Eric. You look very somber today. Yes.
Just tired,
Oh yeah, your kidneys are okay.
as far as I know.
Good. Let me know if any news breaks. Miak, take a nice deep breath. Yes. Hmm. Drop those shoulders. They're not yours anyway. Chris H. Uh-oh, he's getting ready. Get into that outfit again one more time. The sleighs are ready. Get those reindeers. He's our
Thankful.
Santa Claus, Chris H. He brings good cheer every day of the year. Hmm. We got Alan Olson. I'm going to write a little novella, and it's going to be called Alan Olson, the man who never got it. It's going to be a nice little. He's going to be smiling in every picture in the book. So, I could pass out right now. Susan, nice to see you. Always a pleasure. Yeah.
Paul,
It's
David,
London.
Down
Hmm?
under doesn't want to let you go because he has his hand up.
All right, come on in, David.
Oh,
I
never
almost
mind. He left.
I've come to I've come to know someone's going to put his hand up usually. All right.
I he's not there. I'm sorry. I don't know
Oh,
where
he
he went.
disappeared
Oh,
completely.
there he
Oh,
is.
here he is.
There he
That
is.
would be great, wouldn't it? That we just started people just leaving the Zoom like
I,
that.
I thought
Never,
it'd be
never
I
to
thought
come back.
I thought it'd be funny to put my hand up and leave. No, sorry, my phone rang for a second. Paul, I just wanted to, it's not really a question, but last week I seemed to get stuck in the policeman. You know how you say, like, there's the robber and the policeman?
Yes,
Could,
a
could
thief.
you,
Yeah.
yeah, the thief and the policeman, could you riff on that a little bit, or would that be
Well,
okay?
it's just a dualistic way of breaking down the narrations. Yeah. So the head is narrating a life. You understand that? Yes.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
You're hearing its narration. You're not doing the narration.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I
You're
understand
the
that. Yeah,
audience. Yeah. And it's narrating. And you're listening to the narration as if it's you, but it isn't you. You're the listener or the listening at that time. Yeah. So I found in this experience, this life, when I was young, I was brought up by an Irish grandmother. Yes. And she had me like what I got from her uh, education was I've got to be perfect. Yes. So when I went to school, I never said anything. I didn't curse till like sixth grade, really, and stuff like that. And at that time, I was listening to like the policeman narrative. Yes, like something was like I was on its beat and it was watching me like a hawk, to see what I was doing. Yeah. And it got somewhat unbearable. So when I was around 12 years old, I wanted to, I was moved to try to get relief and I was introduced to beer. Yeah. I was in a dugout after a little league game. I was 12. My mother wasn't there. It was a night game. So I was going to walk home by myself and some older guys came into the dugout after the game with a bag of beer and they gave me one of the beers. And that was the
so
first time I ever drank, and my athletic career came to a screeching halt right at that moment because
so
I
so for you, when you drunk, Paul, am I right in saying this that then it would seem you were like the thief when you drank?
yes, yes.
Right.
Then the thief, another channel showed up, which was the thief channel. And I liked the thief channel a lot better because it wasn't the policeman channel.
It seems easier,
Well,
the
it seemed
thief.
easier, and there I shed all, most of the responsibilities that I had. Yeah. It was like I just took seed. I just grew. And but the consequences piled up. The actions that I did listening to the thief narration landed me in jail a lot and in situations and then getting run over by a car and stuff. So I really, if I did not leave the thief narration through virtue, it was pragmatism. I wasn't going to fucking survive listening to it. Yeah. So then I got sober and I got freed from a lot of those consequences. But then the policeman narrative showed back up. Yeah. Which sucked because now I would be walking towards Haight Street and then I would think, should I go left or right? Like it was the most important fucking move
That's
the
that's
last
what that's
20
what
years.
happens. That's
Hmm?
what happens with me. That's
Yes.
sort of,
So
yeah.
this happened, and it was like I was on a pre-probation for 4 or 5 years. My head was just watching me constantly. And thank God I found out it's not another station, it's neither of those stations. You could hear something else that's not the thief station or the policeman station. I didn't know. I thought it was only two options. Yeah. But there's a third. Let's call it silence, let's say. Yeah.
Yeah.
It introduced itself in recovery by an event called a pause, Pause. I would start, the radio stations would go blank for a while. I realized that's another station.
Mm.
Yeah. Silence was another station. And I started going with that much more because I didn't like either of the thief. There's no me, but I didn't want refuge in either of those. Yeah, because there was no refuge really. It came with a lot of fucking demands and shit or consequences. So then I heard something else, thank God. Yeah, so now, and that hearing something else, what it brought about was a loss of interest in listening to the other shows, the other stations. Yeah. And then I saw beautifully that self was not me, which that's the state radio, that's the radio corporation, and it has two stations, thief, policeman. But the radio corporation is self, the idea of self. Yeah. And it's really selfing. And then it has these two basic formats because this is duality, thief, policeman. Yeah, but it's coming from this station, selfing. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So I saw, because I'd been trying to get out of this fucker for so long, I would overdose on purpose to try to get just a little bit of relief from it. Yeah, I mean, I was driven to extremes. And then I saw it was just given to me. I'm not that. I felt it was foreign to me. And as soon as I saw that, uh, the possibility to be free from it became available. And then it told me I had been handcuffed by the identification as it, and I had been trying to be free as it most of my life. And that's why it was failing, because I'm not it. And then I finally, that got readjusted, and it stayed that course ever since. I saw I'm not that. Yeah. And then I started to lose interest in what supports me as that, the thoughts and everything, and those stations. Yeah. And so, and here we are. And we're just passing on what happened. Yeah, in a way. Because if you have a seed assignment like this, the rawness gets formulated so you can share it. Yeah. If you're here and it's raw, you'd have to be instantly here to get it. But it can be formulated where you can get it. Yeah. By the sharing of it, you can get it. The rawness of it, you can't preserve it enough in a way. So, but you formulate it into like an understanding, and then you can offer that. And that understanding has it in the essence, the rawness, the raw meaning RAWNESS, the the pulsing of it. Yeah. So it's captured in the formulation, and then by having an understanding of how it's formulated, you get a taste, a free sample of that. Yeah. And it preserves itself. You don't have to put it in the refrigerator or anything. Yeah, we're here every week, just same, and you see what happens. And if you're traveling lighter, you must be to keep coming back. Obviously, it's not my whatever, you know.
No, I definitely am. It was like last week. It just it seems like like it's two steps forward, one step back. But I know like that's not a good way of
Yeah.
saying it, but you know what I mean. It's like I definitely am traveling lighter, and I'm a lot happier than I used to be. Yeah, for sure.
Well,
But I
yeah,
just
because
think,
let's say this, Dave. Let's say you were in a certain gravitational field, yeah, that
yeah,
you never left.
yeah,
Yeah. You were just in this field, so you never really even felt the tug of it anymore. It was just normal now. Yeah.
yeah,
Then something happens and you are brought out of that gravitational field and you're moving into another gravitational field. Now,
Yeah.
that first gravitational field is now trying to yank you back. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yank,
That's
and
what.
so see, you're more sensitive to it, but you were being suffocated by the norm of it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now it
Yeah.
tries to drown you by a sudden thing, but it
Yeah.
knows it's going to lose because you're now in a different jet stream, another gravitational pull. Ramana, in my feeling, describes it as you're already in the tiger's mouth. So you're already in that pull. And
Yeah.
it's
And
much,
that how you explain that then. This is one thing that never used to happen before. Oh, it used to happen before, but I didn't see it. But I see that happen,
yes.
and sometimes it totally doesn't have any power.
Yes,
Sort of thing. Yeah.
exactly. Because you're moving into, see, its gravitational pull is like confining, pushing down. Yes,
Yeah.
it's contractive, where the other gravitational pull is expansive. Yeah, it
Yeah.
has a different pull than the other one, much
Yeah.
different pull. Yeah.
Yeah.
And these little spurts of the old one trying to pull you back, it's still sending you radio blasts, yes? Oh, you're
Yeah.
never going to be loved or whatever. But it's lost you in a way. And that's why
Yeah.
it's acting with such oomph because it's lost you and it needs you more than you need it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
And plus at the moment, leading up to Christmas, leading into Christmas for years and years and years, that's when it would yeah, that's when it gets full
Yes.
on.
Yes.
Which this year, even though that little week happened last week, Chris, it feels a lot different this year to me. Yeah.
Well, yeah, this is traveling lighter progressing.
Yeah.
We're not lying here. There's going to be traveling lighter. It
Yeah.
happens. It progresses. And in this case, when the contraction progresses, it usually has you in a state of not knowing. When this expands, you're in the state of knowing it. So there's gratitude and there's joy. Yeah.
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 When someone says, like, they they see the change in you before you do. No, you see something. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're not out to lunch about this. Yeah.
Yeah.
You're completely in Novato.
You
You're
see it.
completely in
I
Novato.
notice I notice I see it in things like simple little things. I won't go into any area that I feel like gave me no joy at all before. Like I didn't notice they did. They can be really simple things, and they're of great joy. Like they make
Yeah.
me very happy. Yeah.
Because the joy is wanting to express. It's
Yeah.
not waiting for you to, for joy to come to you. It's meeting things out of joy.
Yeah.
A whole different movement. The whole thing is has a different thing. The way, and this is the fun of it because it happens in you and there's an observing of it and you get to know it. And get to knowing it is better than reading about it and shit like that. Really getting to know it is really, yeah. So we're
Yeah.
all in this process, and the process is just for fun because when it ends, it was like nothing ever happened. You've never not been this, the thusness. So, but here you can seem to progress, and there's some beauty in time, obviously. Yeah, when you buy an orchid and you've seen them before bloomed and you buy them and you never try to, usually I don't buy them when they're bloomed because I know what they're going to look like. I get them when they're budding because it's going to be a nice process, yeah, and they're going to last longer. Yeah, that's time, isn't it? Something
Yeah.
starts and it doesn't look like it's going anywhere, and you come back, and then one day, without you noticing, it's bloomed.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then it's there for like 3 months or 4 months. It's pretty. So time can be an exquisite. Uh, if you see this as an art uh, exhibition life, time can really bring out a beautiful aspects of stuff. Yeah, really can. You know, when you see somebody, some people, they're really beautiful when they're older. Yeah. They got the whitish hair. No one in this room, but I mean, there are people with this whitish hair and they've got like the Ganges River is here and then the Amazon. There's a whole lot of living on their face and stuff. And I mean, it's cool.
Yeah.
So this isn't, you know, yeah. And that thing, Dave, that's what happens too. Yeah, the smallest things occupy me for sure. Yeah. I
Yeah.
I like things, and I'm standing with three people that have no interest in it at all, and I still like it. Just liking it. And yeah, it's just what I have this tendency. Yeah. So, hey, thank you. I think we'll end now, eh? Thank you.
Yeah.
Yes.
Thank, thanks, Paul. Very, very
Yes.
great.
Yes.
Very
Why,
great.
isn't
Yeah.
it, why not, when you're going down, you've gone hit the top of the hill and you're going down, at least it looks like a lot nicer than it was before. So you're you're on an upswing. I think that's pretty good.
Yeah.
That's I think you get a winning grade for that. Just like, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, Gregory, nice to see you, bro. Yeah. See, I just watched Dave. I know.